Hey, Brad Burud here with Flames Unfiltered. Time for another Flames Unfiltered Shorts as we got big news in Calgary. Another trade heading up until Monday's deadline. Calgary makes another deal as Brad Treliving comes through in bringing Calle Jarnkrok to the Calgary Flames. Now, I talked about this on a couple of other episodes about how he was a guy that I had targeted that I really would like to see on this team just because I believe he's going to be a good fit in the role we're looking for to fill. So what happened? Here's how the trade goes down. The Flames get Calle Jarnkrok, a pending UFA. He has a $2 million cap hit. Seattle retains 50% of that, so $1 million will count against Calgary's cap. Seattle gets a 2022 second-round pick, the one we got from Florida for Sam Bennett, a 2023 third-round pick, and a 2024 seventh-round pick. I feel a fair return, a good return. I don't know. I guess about the return I expected. I know there was other teams in the hunt. The LA Kings were interested. The Washington Capitals were interested. And I believe this is a fair return. The good news, no roster players were moved in this deal. Building a team for a cup run. I like our core. I like our group. Bringing Calle Jarnkrok in, going to help a lot. I think it's going to be as impactful as a Tyler Toffoli. I hope I'm not proven wrong on that one. All right. You got to also think about it this way. And you think about the Sam Bennett deal last year, right before the deadline, and how he's turned into quite a player for the Florida Panthers. But think about this. So Treliving turns Sam Bennett, who Seattle would have drafted in the expansion draft, almost sure of it. So we would have lost him anyways. So he turned him into a second rounder, which in turn we get Calle Jarnkrok for. So now we're able to have Toffoli and Jarnkrok basically for what Sam Bennett would have been for this team. And it's interesting, and you can always look back at what ifs and what if we'd have kept Sam Bennett, but we would have lost him for sure in the expansion draft. So we ended up sacrificing Giordano, which we thought at the time was going to be troublesome, and we've worked through that and proven that that really wasn't troublesome. So having to spend that pick that we got is probably exactly what I would have wanted to spend on this deal. So now's where the problem comes in, is where cap management becomes a problem. Because with this move now, the Flames have $164,000 available as of right now for the cap. At the trade deadline, that calculates out at about $820,000. I don't know, maybe you could add a depth of, I don't know really what you're going to add for $820,000. Let's put it that way. To be cap compliant, they did have to send down Adam Ruzicka. We'll see today if any players get put on waivers. That'll kind of be interesting to see what direction they want to go there. Now, some information about Jarnkrok. He is actually Elias Lindholm's cousin. He is Jacob Markstrom's good friend. He's happy to be headed to Calgary, according to his press conference and everything. I think he's going to be a good fit. Spent most of his career in Nashville, a career high of 16 goals, a career high of 35 points in a season. He's going to create secondary scoring. He works his ass off. Scored against Calgary earlier this year when we played Seattle, but this guy's a hard worker. This guy's going to fit into the Daryl Sutter mold very, very well. He's versatile. He can play center. He can play right wing. He is a right shot, and he's a responsible, hardworking guy. Other crazy facts with this one is he's from a town of 75,000 in Sweden. I'm going to say the town name and it'll probably be wrong, but I believe it's Gaval. Lindholm is from there, Jarnkrok is from there, and Mark's from there. All three of those guys from a town of 75,000. How crazy is that? The Flames have a huge Swedish team. It's crazy. They've got Markstrom, Lindholm, Backlund, Anderson, Shillington, and now Jarnkrok. That's crazy to have that much Swedish players on a team, but they work well together and they work hard. And this team is coming together. And I'm really interested to see where he fits into the lineup. I would suspect on Friday night when we play Buffalo that we're going to see Lindholm centering Gaudreau and Tkachuk, which has been the line all year. I got a feeling we're going to see Backlund centering Lewis and Coleman. I think Jarnkrok will fall in at center to Toffoli and Mangiapane, and then we'll see the Monahan, Dubé, Lucic as the fourth line. A twist to that one would be as if they put him on wing. And Sutter did say today that he has not made a determination whether he's going to be a winger or a center. I don't know if I'm sold on the fact that I don't want Ruzicka at one of the centers. Now, he's been sent down to the minors, and Sutter said yesterday that he'd rather have Ruzicka in the minors than playing on the fourth line in Calgary. Well, if he's centering a fourth line that's going to be a somewhat productive fourth line, because we already have our shutdown line in Coleman, Backlund, and Lewis, would it really be a fourth line if he was with Dubé and Lucic? I don't know. I mean, that's interesting to see what happens. Another twist is you could have Lindholm centering Tkachuk and Gaudreau. Don't mess with that line. And have Backlund centering Jarnkrok and Coleman. Ruzicka centering Toffoli and Mangiapane, and then Monahan with Lewis and Lucic, and have Dubé as a floater. We'll see. I've questioned Dubé's play a little bit this year. Had a real good night last night, but I don't know how he might be the guy that I don't know how he fits in. And Lucic lately has been a turnover king, so I don't know. Maybe you shuffle in a Dubé-Lucic switch there and play Jarnkrok on a wing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I hate to see Ruzicka go down because I think he's going to be a key part of this Flames team heading into the future seasons. Just good to see another big move from Brad Treliving. I've loved his moves this year. I've loved how this team has come together. I think it's amazing that the good Branson-Zadorov pair has been worked out so well this year. Is this the final piece? I think that's really the question that everybody in Calgary wants to know. If the Flames stop right now, I understand it because of the cap. And I don't know how many more pieces we need. The acquisition of Calle Jarnkrok is going to be a big, big hole filled up front for this team.